Alright, guys, the next speaker that we have is also on the Jungli Trail with his property. And fun fact about him, he was the first guest of Indian origin at Nomad Gao, and he was the first guest of Indian origin at Jungli as well. And he's now Jungli's top returnee with 5 trips, but he can only remember 4 of them. Ask him about. Welcome to the stage, Shahzada Arora!
What's up, Paji?
Hello. How's everyone doing? I just want to give a shout out to K Sera Sera. I was just there 2 months back and I had a phenomenal 3-day stay there. If you're ever in Agonda, please go and live there for at least 2-3 days to absorb everything that Agonda has to offer you. Today I'm going to talk about how to make people feel at home. It's a journey from space to belonging. A little about me. I'm a traveler. I like to build things and I'm a community creator. I love building communities and I'll tell you the reason for that. This is my mom. Her name is Maninder and in my eyes she's the best community manager that I've ever met. While we were growing up, she would host get-togethers, parties every weekend and we would have people every weekend at our home. And the way she would make people feel, I think that's where I learned subconsciously how to make people feel at home. This is a photo of me and my mom in 2016. We went on a trip to Himachal. And 2017, she got diagnosed with cancer. This was in June. And in August, she passed away. So when that happened, she was a single parent. I started questioning my definition of home. Well, there was a lot of, emotional instability. There were a lot of questions. Who am I and where my home is? But all those questions led me to travel. I booked a one-way ticket to Colombo. I started working remotely. And when I started working remotely then, I did not even know about the phrase digital nomad. I was just a guy with a backpack, working on my computer, making a living, and just going on adventures. So I went on a one-way ticket. I lived in Sri Lanka, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. While I was on that trip, I volunteered at a lot of community places. I taught English in Vietnam. I was working at a hostel in Thailand where I was a receptionist, and I was also cleaning toilets in the night. I taught English. And once all that trip was done, I bought a second-hand bike, which was a 125cc scooter from Ho Chi Minh, and I drove all the way to Hanoi for 40 days. It had all my luggage, and that journey taught me a lot. It got me closer to people. And when you are in a country where you don't speak the same language and you're by yourself, you don't have a choice but to go ask for help, to go seek conversations with people. And on that journey, I got to know a lot about humans. I got to know a lot about people, and I realized that all that I've learned from media is negative about the world. People are actually, we are all the same, no matter which part of the world you are. And we are all kind, we have all the same needs. So this picture is when I was teaching English in an English center in Ho Chi Minh. And this is my bike trip. So that journey, when I came back to India right around COVID, I was, as Divi mentioned, I went to Nomad Gao as their first Indian guest. And I and Mayur jammed really hard about the future of work and future of travel. And the COVID was right on the corner. When COVID hit, Mayur and I got on a call and we were like, let's build something for Indians from the Indian lens for digital nomads. And that's when we started the Remote Explorers podcast. We started having conversations about remote work with a positive light, because working from home was seen as a byproduct of you have to stay at home during COVID, right? But we wanted to We want to talk about the opportunities that it can create for you. You can follow a hobby, live in your village, and still be able to, work in a company in San Francisco and make a living. And that led me to join Nomad Gaon with Mayur. Can we have a round of applause for Mayur? I joined Nomad Gaon with Mayur, and we started building, co-working, co-living spaces in remote parts of India. And now in 2024, I started OddTable. Some of us in the room today have already been to the space. But now, after my introduction, I'm going to get back to why this talk. Why do some places feel like home? I would like to actually ask you guys a few keywords, if I could get from the audience. Why some places feel like home, or what does home mean to you?
Sometimes you just go into places where the hosts feel like friends. So you feel that it's come to a friend's living room and it's not like a hotel. So
Right.
warmth and a personalized touch goes a long way.
Right. Any other words?
Being in a place like that where there is no judgment, where you can be yourself, that's what home is. For a lot of people. Comfort.
For me, hygiene.
Yeah, hygiene, comfort. Right. Okay. The question is, why do some places feel like home? And I want to know, what are some words that come to your mind when I use the word home?
People.
People? Belongingness. Great.
Food.
Warmth. Food.
Safety.
Somebody said seafood? Safety. Sorry, I'm allergic to seafood. I can't.
Prawn star.
So, this is the most cliche line, but this is actually true. Home is not a place, it's a feeling. And if we have to divide this into a few segments, then there are three things that you can make people have a feeling of home, which is through familiarity, shared spaces, and emotional safety. Familiarity. So I'm just going to walk you guys through the processes that we use at OddTable. Most of our clients come from Airbnb, or they get our number from Google and they call us. We try to get as much information about them before they arrive at the location. So what projects you're working from, where are you from, what brings you to Goa, are you here for a remote a vacation, or are you here just to relax with your partner, or you're here to take a digital detox, or you're here to work on a startup idea that in Bangalore you were just not getting the space or the frequency of your mind to work on it. We get that data from them, and then when they arrive, we already know a lot about them, right? Also, we have an OddTable residents WhatsApp group where whenever a new person joins, we give them introduction about all the other people that are staying, right? I think Jungli and we follow the same protocols here. And once the person arrives, they know the people that are living here, and they know you, the host, and we know them. So when you're actually physically meeting for the first time, it doesn't feel that this physical meeting is happening for the first time. And once that familiarity comes in, breaking ice becomes really easy, and you have a sense of comfort as soon as you walk in. And now, shared spaces. I'll briefly talk about the journey of how I found OddTable and why I chose that building where we are running OddTable now. So it, as the word says, it is an odd table in an odd building. When I walked into that building for the first time, it felt a bit odd because it's not a rectangular plot. It's an hexagon plot, and rooms are also triangle-ish, hexagon-ish. We wanted to use that character of the property and make it a USP of it. So we did a few things with the design, but I wanted to put a masterpiece which brings people together through the design of the space, rather than you need a human intervention to break ice with people or to build a community. So how the design works is there are two staircases. Both the staircases lead you to the table, and it's a big live edge wooden table. where people have no options but to have accidental meetups with people, right? So the intimacy is sort of forced through the design, and that works. So we have the OddTable that acts like a co-working space, acts like a place where people have conversations, eat and share meals. And we have another area which is a library and a hammock area for sort of to read and relax. This is a guest of ours who has Nikhil's zines with him. So emotional safety. I think how Jungli or Nomad Gaon and we are different from other hospitality stays, or even Kesera Sera, that our average stay is a little longer than a typical hotel or an Airbnb. Our average stay is 13 days. So when people are there, that's a long enough time for you to see different shades of their emotions. One thing that we ensure is, though we are a social space, but we do not impose being social on everyone. It's a choice that they have, and it should be easy for them to understand. So before we tell them our needs, how they should be, what our house rules are, we try to know what their needs are before they enter the space, right? And a lot of travelers, nomads, and with the highly digitally connected world, we are getting lonely day by day, right? I mean, that's a fact that I see with people who come to take a break from their digital life and what we can do as a space is not to intervene in their problems, but actually just to give them a platform where they have space through design where they can reflect on themselves. There are tools, there are books, there are canvases and paints kept right next to the coffee table. If they're having a chai, they could just pick it up and doodle something. That's how we try to sort of inculcate these things in our space. So this was how the rooms were in the building we got for OddTable, and this is how the rooms look like. This apartment is called Coca-Cola room. Certain elements that can be used for all of us in our room to make a space feel like home. One is paint, curtains, rugs, lamps, and a work desk. These are just the 5 things, if you look at from picture 1 to picture 2, that we've added. Everything else is the same. The beds are the same, the table is the same, the wardrobe is the same. Just color and warmth through a few things here and there, and see how much difference that makes. But I also want to touch upon lights. I think warm lighting really adds a lot of character to the space. Yeah. How many people here post 7 p.m. just hate when there is a white light going on in the house? Right? Dude, you're my jam. Yeah. Right? But also I think it's a great shift from white light, and warm lights are a great shift. See, because we have small apartments. If people are working, they can use white light and to shift their mood, to shift from work to sort of a calm, relaxed zone. Warm light really helps to get you into that. Yeah. So the thumb rule here is aesthetics and functionality 50-50. That's what we focus on while building a space. So it has to be beautiful and equally useful. But that's only half the story. The things people remember are often invisible. So your check-in, the first touch point, as soon as somebody walks in, we give them a handwritten note where we have little context about where they're coming from, what's their journey. We use that and we give them a personalized first impression as soon as they come. We also keep a little bag of snacks, Maggies, just because after 3 days when they have munchies at 3 in the night or 1 in the night, and then they find that little piece of chips that's there, they feel really nice, We do weekly events regularly, consistently, and we not just involve the people that are staying at OddTable, but also the community in Mandrim. So they have a ritual, and the people that are staying at OddTable also get to meet interesting people who are staying in the village. If you guys haven't been to Mandrim, I would really recommend this beautiful village, still like a hidden secret. Please come and experience Mandrim. So this is how our weekly calendar looks like. Every day we have chai and biscuits in the morning. So we don't have an F&B section yet, but we are soon opening a cafe in July. Every morning at 9:37 we meet and have chai and biscuits. And why would you ask? It's 9:37. It's 7:11. It's 3:05, 9:01, 7:33. Because we're odd, yeah. Because we are odd. All our room numbers are also odd. Yeah, and one of our main events that we really focus on is community potlucks. Every Friday, people who are staying at OddTable and people who are living around our neighbors, like Aniket. Aniket has been a regular at our. Can we have a round of applause for Aniket? He's my next door neighbor and he's a very regular at all our potlucks. So the idea for the potluck is, as Bharti and Preet were mentioning, that food brings everybody together. We don't have an F&B section, but we let people bring their food. And in Mandrim, we have people from Gujarat, people from UK, people from Russia, people from all over the world. And when they bring their food, right, they bring a part of themselves on the table. So we have a topic of the night. So it can be monsoon nostalgia, it can be childhood stories, a theme of the night that we choose for every week. And we have a no phone policy on the table. So for those 2.5, 3 hours, everybody keeps their phone aside and have real deep conversations for those 2.5 hours to 3 hours just on that one topic. And we have question answer rounds and we go around on the table. Everybody gets a chance to express, ask questions. So if you're ever in Mandrim, please come join us for one of our potlucks. So we have a space, then we build comfort in it, then we have connection through people, and then comes the sense of belonging through that. Don't build places, people. Do you guys, can you recognize who this legend is? This is my first New Year's at Jungli. And this is where I feel home, so I come back here again and again. Yeah, so how do you apply this? How do you make people feel at home? If you are starting a co-living, an Airbnb, or just how do you make yourself feel at home when you're building a home? It's design, the ethos, and the community. Ethos, that who you are, what your value system is, how do you translate that into your staff, to your housekeepers, to your community manager, to anybody who's representing you as a brand. They should know what your values are. So people rarely remember the room, they remember how they felt. And this is all of us. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Any questions?
I lived in Anjuna, Asagaon for the initial 2 years of my Goa, and I was myself pulled towards Mandrim. I would go there every weekend to just enjoy the beach and what's happening there. And when I was choosing to build my own space, then Mandrim just felt like the right spot. But also, it's just to answer your question a little more. It's right in the middle of Morjim and Arambol, so you still get the grounding and the spiritual vibe of Arambol, but you also have a lot of entrepreneurs, builders who are living there and are building their product. So it's just like the right combination of people who, the intellectual conversations that you can have and also be really grounded while you're there. Yeah, and a beautiful beach.
Nice one. Time for one more question for Shaz. You want to have one more question for Shaz? Mayur, your old friend?
I know a lot about
You can write the book, Shahzada, the memoir.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you planning to make more of these or you're happy with one?
Right now, I'm just focusing on this, and I've just taken over a 2-bedroom apartment, which I'm also renovating, and we're just about to launch it next week. But I'm really just focusing on next 6 months and looking how that goes. But I definitely feel there is a potential for places like OddTable to be around. But while I want to expand that, I'm very conscious about what my life would look like when I get into that journey of building more and more. So I'm just being, in that dilemma of where I want to be personally. Yeah.
Awesome. Cheers, Shahzi. Big round of applause.
Thank you.
Smashed it.